They just wanted students to get out, and then that was it.
It was very frustrating for me, like either to stay or to go back.
If like the experience of being an international student wasn't already alienating, now it's even more alienating.
Now I feel like I have to be an adult sooner than expected, and like I'm not mentally prepared for it.
It's a lot of emotional stress. As for other things, it hasn't quite hit yet, like financially wise and other things, but I'm sure it'll catch up pretty soon.
Honestly, like for my personal life hasn't changed that much because like there are a lot of offices in Korea, in like companies in Korea. They're saying they're doing stay-in jobs. They work at home. Like my sister does that. Like she's been staying at home and like doing her jobs for like 2-3 weeks, I think. But for me, like I have to go to like for my specific field of my job, like I still have to go to office and I have to like visit here and there. So the only thing that changed is just like I have to wear masks and all the time, and then they have hand sanitizer everywhere, so I just have to like keep myself clean.
Because I work for a restaurant, a lot of people are more trapped in their houses, or they want to stay in their houses because they just stock up on food, on everything they need, so they just stay in and they don't really go out. So that kind of like, I guess, hurt the business in a sense.
It's more of a roadblock at the moment. I'm putting a hold on applying to jobs, applying to schools, because people have bigger things to worry about right now. I feel like a lot of times in a crisis, people's goals are put on hold because of current situations that they're now presented with. Now that people are out of jobs, they don't have money to support themselves or their family members to help out with, my parents at least.
At my place, we're trying to cut down on costs, and I'm sure that's the case for many other companies. So I think that also includes hiring costs, just because a lot of people are staying in, so there's not much business going around in general.
For a jobless postgrad, it's pretty hampering. Like I just feel like I was like, maybe pretty soon I'll get a job. I'll apply, and right now I've stopped applying because I know that's gonna be fruitless.
There's like a positive and a downside. So obviously the downside is there's like a lack of jobs that require you to come in, and there are probably companies that limit the amount of people that need to come in. So I guess that's also like a problem. I haven't really faced that yet, but I can imagine it's a problem. But then there's also the plus side is that there are some jobs where they need more people because like they're transitioning to more online work, and in the meantime, so they need that kind of like people to come into work.
This coronavirus outbreak is beneficial to me at this time because I'm now fresh out of college with a college degree with a lot of potential, and part of the millennial and the Gen Z generation. This is our stepping stone because we're already at rock bottom right now, and the only way to go is to go up.
I actually feel really bad for the current graduating class of 2020, because they're not going to get the graduation. Some of them live across the country, across the world, and so that they're missing out on those last moments, that final closure that they have with their friends. So as someone who recently graduated, I'm really and who has the privilege to have a job that is still paying me, because those are big things too. Like people start struggling with student debt who don't have a job that they can then pay themselves out of that student debt. It would be a whole different issue if that were the case with me, but it is not, and I recognize my privilege.
But I think one of the most important parts is for people to like maintain this compassion and also this awareness for those that like are immunocompromised and also are in financial, social situations where they don't have the access that many others do.
Like, long story short, people are ugly. Like, humanity is pretty ugly. Like, I saw so many ugly side of people. Like, how many people had undermining discrimination towards other culture or other people or religions, whatever. That was like I was really surprised about that part. It's like, at this point, it's like you can't really blame who caused it or not. It's like we gotta figure out how to fix this.
And it's the same thing that I learned when I got diagnosed with lupus, is that when you are suddenly and very abruptly faced with your own mortality, a lot of things change. You become much more grateful for what you have. You are able to connect and forgive a lot of people who you felt wronged you before, because suddenly those issues don't feel as big. And learning to know who and what is most important to you. Hopefully a lot of people will learn to not take things for granted.
I hope people just learn to care for others in the community. I think that's a big one now, because especially for the younger generation, it's like there's a lot of gives no fucks attitude, because it's like, oh, I'm at low risk. Like even if I get it, I might not show symptoms, and even if I do show symptoms, I'll probably be fine. But I think the focus here is on everyone else around those who are low risk. And I hope that for those who learn that compassion and learn that empathy and understanding for others, that they carry it with them, not only in the context of the virus, but also everything else, like all the issues that people have to face outside of this virus.